to an innocent looking little padlock that I got from SasPes. Buddy, thank you very much for the lock. I'll leave it up to you to decide what is written here on the front. Is it sang or semi? I don't know. It behaves not like every other little lock. It operates not very smoothly. You have to push the key really hard inside the plug, and then it turns even harder to get the lock open, and closing the shackle also requires some effort. And you can see the key has suffered from this kind of hard operation. It is bent. That's probably the reason why it slides in and out only with some force. Yeah, plan for this video is to pick the lock and then take it apart and see what's wrong inside and probably fix it. Picking is also not very easy. I managed to pick it a couple of times, but it took me quite some time. A combination of picking and raking, however, is quite effective. So let's see how it behaves now. I start with 4. I think I got 4. 3 feels solid. 2 feels solid. 1 is springy. So I don't know. I just use the rake and see if I can get into this lock a little bit quicker with a rake. And here we go, it's open, but it doesn't turn open all the way. So it's picked, but you cannot apply enough force with a tension wrench to get the plug turned all the way. So I use a screwdriver to turn it all the way, and now it's open. Yeah, that was the picking. Now let's go downstairs and see if we can take apart this lock without causing too much of a damage. So here I'm back on my desk. The lock body is almost empty, no pins and springs, no plug, only the 2 locking bars you can see. And I think that's where the problem is. The 2 locking bars, they interface with the cutouts in the shackle, and currently the cutouts are filled, and the plug pushes away the locking bars like this and like that, so that the room is then free for the shackle to come out. And that's the job of the 2 pins here of the plug. So you can imagine that you have it in like this and you turn it, and at the same time the upper and the lower locking bar are pushed out of the way and the lock opens. So now when I turn the plug like this without pushing inside, it's really hard to turn it. Doesn't work. But when I push inside, it's very smooth. So that means that we have a problem with the height. You can see these little peaks here that interface with the pins of the plug. When I simulate the plug by pushing this to the side, now it slipped under the corner of the hole, but sometimes Maybe it's the other side that makes more trouble. You can see it stops here because it needs to be pushed down and then it slides under. So I think what's the problem is simply that these two pieces here are too short. So they would just need to be a little bit higher, a little bit longer, and then the lock would operate much smoother. So I'm not sure what I can do to compensate that. Glue something on it, or I don't know if I can solder something on it. I will see what I can find. So here I'm back. I think I had a pretty bad idea. I thought I could squeeze the two pieces here in a vise so that they become a little bit longer. Maybe they became a little bit longer, but they're also pretty mangled. They are not as fragile as they look like, but well, not optimal. So let's see how the lock performs. Now the plug wants to come out a little bit, but it's much smoother in the operation. I don't have to push it in. I think I will leave it as is now and reassemble the lock and see how it works, or if it works again at all. By the way, here are the pieces. I only found 3 springs, made a replacement spring because I need 4, of course. Then we have, that's the retaining pin, we have the driver pins. These are the plugs to close the chambers, and these are the key pins. Okay, so let's see if I can put back together this lock, and then hopefully it works again. So here's the lock back in working order. I've populated all the chambers with key pins, drivers and springs, and on top of it I've put back the plugs, and also the retaining pin is back in place. Let's operate the lock. Key goes in more or less effortless and works very smoothly. No problem. I think this is much better than before. So no force required, neither on the plug when I turn the key, nor on the shackle when I push it in. Lock does not look as nice as before anymore, at least not on this side, but well, now it has a history to it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that I got it back together in working condition, and it even behaves much better than before. Yeah, SasPes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sending this lock to me, and everybody else. Thank you very much for watching. Happy picking, and bye bye. Now even picking is a real pleasure. The pins seem to not get jammed anymore in the chambers, and also turning the plug is very easily possible. So in a matter of seconds, and open. Yeah, a smooth lock. Back in working order. Bye bye.